Coming up on Cardinals Insider.
It makes me so proud, the fact that all this work that I put in, finally came up.
We take a look at Kolten Wong's golden season. Plus,
Bueno's a good bowler, maybe. Maybe Bueno could be like a professional bowler.
Baseball isn't the only sport our Cardinals can play. And later,
I've never really thought of it as a job. It's easy to work when you love it.
meet prospect Zach Thompson. Welcome to Cardinals Insider. I'm your host, Ozzie Smith. We're thrilled to have baseball back this year, but that's not the only thing glowing this season. Kolten Wong earned the Rawlings Gold Glove for 2019. Here's his reflections on the award.
Wong ranging to his right, jumping to throw, and he got him! What a play, Kolten Wong!
Pretty cool experience. My agents called me and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, just getting ready for the postseason." They're like, "Oh, we got something to tell you." And they told me I won the Gold Glove, and it was pretty cool. My wife was there, so it was a good experience. We got to kind of enjoy it, and just kind of sat back and looked back at just everything that kind of went down, and the season I had, and it was an incredible experience.
Wong to his left, nice play, spinning, and takes a hit away.
There's a line drive. Wong with a backhanded catch.
When I got drafted in 2011, looking at the scouting reports, I was always trying to figure out, what I can get myself better in. And everybody's knock on me was my defense. And I was like, man, I just started playing second base like 2 years ago. Like, how are you guys gonna knock on me like this? It kind of started to give me a little fuel to work harder. So that year I got drafted, I wanted to sign right away because I wanted to get after it. So I signed, went to, Low A. Johnny Rodriguez was there, our Low A manager, and we'd go out every single day and work defense. I'd pull him up and be like, "Listen, Johnny, I want to get better at defense. I want to get better." And it kept on from then on.
Wong with the catch with his back to the infield. What a play by Kolten Wong.
Out goes Wong, over the shoulder, sliding catch. He made the play, 1 out.
I've always wanted to push the envelope on defense because, I want to prove to these guys that, you might have saw me in college, but I'm not the same guy. And, just to get this Gold Glove now, just reassures that it just, makes me so proud, the fact that all this work that I put in, finally came up.
Backhanded by Wong, he jumps, throws, got him! An acrobatic play by Wong.
Just being in that situation where I was, a finalist, gave me that confidence to know coming into 2019 that, okay, I can win this. Just being somebody with a DJ LeMahieu and Javi Baez, us three in that category, I was like, if I can be with these guys right now, I know I can take it another step higher. And even last year, I feel like I can still get even better and better. So it's, it's if anything, that award just gave me more fuel to get better and continue to try and bring these awards home, because I know that I have a lot more in the tank.
Wong going out, leaps, oh, he got it! He got it! What a play, Kolten Wong! And they're loving it here at Busch Stadium.
Straight ahead on Cardinals Insider, we asked some of the guys which teammate could play a different sport.
I would have to say John Gant does an excellent job jumping up and hitting things.
Also coming up, we take you inside the Cardinals Zoom room.
Hey, way too fast. I gotta go, I'm in the zone, foot on the gas. Yeah. Way too fast. I got goals, I know where to go, so I'll never crash. Hey, way too fast. I got goals, I know where to go, so I'll never crash.
It takes a lot of hard work to play ball in the major leagues. We asked the guys who they think could play a different professional sport. That's the question on this week's Ask a Cardinal.
I'd have to go with Jack. He's a freak athlete.
Bueno's a good bowler, maybe. Maybe Bueno could be like a professional bowler. Yadi could be a hockey goalie. I think you got some options.
I would have to say John Gant does an excellent job jumping up and hitting things, so I think he would make a delightful slam dunk artist in the NBA. So I'm going to go with, and he's a tremendous athlete. but I'm going to go with John Gant as a basketball player.
I'm going to go with Jack. I think Jack has probably got the most athletic genes out of it, although there's a few of them. When you watch them work out, they could be, but I'll go with Jack.
Jack Flaherty, I would say. That dude's he's an athlete, so I think he'd be able to do a lot of other sports pretty well.
Myself and Dex and Johnny would be basketball. But I'd say the three of us. And then if you want to go like something else, we got guys who hunt, we got guys who fish. I'm sure somebody else do something like that. Paul could probably play cricket.
Yeah, I would say probably Jack. Basketball, do something like that. Gant's a good athlete. Power lifter, does that count? So we got O'Neal.
Straight ahead, Zoom interviews are the new norm. We take you inside the Cardinals Zoom room.
And your St. Louis Cardinals! Hey, it's a great night for a ball game. Flaherty is locked in. Edmond, oh, what a catch! Goldschmidt with a drive. At the wall, gone! Wong sliding, oh, what a catch! He's done it again! At the wall, get out of here! Carpenter, here comes Molina! He's safe! It's a sweep of the doubleheader! Unbelievable!
Face-to-face interviews are not an option right now as we all try and stay healthy and safe. But luckily, video chatting has made it easy. Our Emily Stevens takes us on the other side of the computer into the Cardinals Zoom room.
In a world with live sports put on hold for almost 4 months, players and reporters have had to adapt to the recent changes to sports reporting. Face-to-face interviews are a way of the past, and social distancing while wearing a mask has become the new norm. To report on baseball, players and reporters communicate through video chatting. There are 2 Zoom rooms in Busch Stadium, one for the Cardinals and one for the visiting team. During training camp, manager Mike Schilt and 2 to 3 players answer questions on Zoom every day after practice.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
All right. Good to see these wonderful faces.
Welcome to the Zoom room.
Yeah, well, yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, different version of it. We've all had our share of it.
Club PR representatives facilitate each Zoom while wearing a mask. They begin each Zoom session by inviting the media to begin asking questions.
Okay, we're ready for questions for Kolten Wong. Can you guys hear us?
Once the interview starts, it's pretty normal baseball talk.
You've got 60 games to kind of give it your best effort, get after it, and see what happens. So,
I kind of like it, honestly. I really do like it. All the other thoughts and the worries just go out the window. You know, have a bad at bat, doesn't matter. You know, such a short season, such a small window. It's just about right now. So, I think it's gonna be really interesting, a lot of fun.
And we have grown accustomed to the way video chat stumbles along the way.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I could not really understand what you were saying.
Sorry.
The Cardinals Zoom room consists of a camera sent from MLB that is powered by an iPad. The player can view the media on a monitor displaying a gallery view.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Nice masks.
Thanks.
And as for our Zoom room, well, you're looking at it. Using our phones and computers to video chat has become the new normal as we stay safe and healthy. For Cardinals Insider, I'm Emily Stevens.
There's nothing more exciting than following a prospect's journey through the system. Last month, as part of our pre-draft special, our Brett McMillan had a chance to talk with 2019 first-rounder Zach Thompson.
Zach, thanks so much for taking the time to do this. And can you believe it, a year since you sat and put on that jersey for the first time and signed?
Well, thanks for having me. And no, I can't believe it's been a whole year, and can't believe how long it's been since we've played baseball.
What was that like, that day coming to Busch Stadium? You put on that jersey. I mean, it's a moment I'm sure that you'll remember for the rest of your life, and a moment that you've probably been dreaming about since you were a little kid. A year removed from it, what's the thing that sticks with you the most about that day?
I mean, you hit it on the head. Dream come true. But just looking back at everything that's happened over the past year, and just to have that dream come true and get to spend that day at the park with my parents, just living it up and getting to meet some of the front office folks and all the people that believed in me in St. Louis.
You're from not too far away from St. Louis in Indiana, and your parents, I remember last year your mom actually mentioned, hey, this is great. Someday we're going to be able to just hop in the car and come out here for games. What has it meant to you to share this first year of your baseball journey with family and just to have their support and have them root you on?
It's just awesome. I mean, family's huge for me. They, especially my parents, have been so supportive of me. They get to every game they could. I think they came to just about every weekend at Kentucky, and they've been down to Florida a few times now, and it's just great to stay in the Midwest, and the Cardinals are just a great organization to be with.
To be a year in and to have a year of pro ball under your belt, what's the biggest takeaway that you've had through your professional career to this point?
Just the culture and the family atmosphere of the entire Cardinals organization. Last June when I signed, the guys, the coaching staff, player development, everybody there took me under their wing. Everybody was they were awesome to me. And then roll back around to this spring, and just to have those big leaguers just kind of open up to me the way they did and accept me. And it was just a very family atmosphere. There was none of that, like, this guy's trying to steal my job. They were just super helpful and very easy to learn from.
I remember this year you got to throw a live BP to Paul Goldschmidt. I think Matt Carpenter was in that group too. What do you learn from a situation like that where you're throwing stuff to guys that have put together MVP caliber seasons before?
Just trying to soak it in and learn as much as I could. Go out there and give them my best stuff, and then when the dust settles, go up to them and just ask them what they thought, what I could improve on, what I did bad, what I did good, what I need to do moving forward, and how I can improve from those guys. And they were awesome about it. They were super professional.
What was your favorite part of spring training? I'm sure that was great to get to pick the brain of players like that. But did you have a favorite moment from that experience this winter?
Honestly, it's probably latching on to some of those guys, some of the lunch talk with like Waino and Jack and Dakota, and just getting to sit down with those guys and just pick their brains. And that was awesome.
I don't want you to give away any trade secrets, but was there a piece of advice or something, especially Waino? I mean, talk about experience in the game, a guy who's been everywhere and done it all as far as the game of baseball. He's a world champion. He's closed out, big time moments. He started big time games. What was the thing that you took from him, that pearl of wisdom that you'll carry with you?
And like you said, he's world class in every way. I mean, he's a world class teammate and person above all else. And the biggest thing I took away from him was just simplifying the game. I'd come to him pretty much every day with a question, and usually it came back around to overthinking it and just trying to do too much. And he's a great mentor.
Is there a moment for you in your life? I mean, here we are a year into your professional career, but a moment where you looked around and said, you know what, I think that maybe someday I could get paid to play baseball. This could be a job for me, and that my stuff could play at a level that would be right there at the very top of the game.
I don't know if there's any just one time where it clicked, but just over time it starts to develop, and it's like, all right, this is going to happen. This is where it's headed. But I've never really thought of it as a job. Every day I get to go work out, get to go throw, and it's what I love doing, and it's easy to work when you love it.
Coming up, find out why Tommy Edman had to postpone a very important day. That's next. Have you listened to the Cardinals Insider Podcast yet? Each week, the show welcomes players, executives, and alumni. Plus, hear audio from the Cardinals Radio Archives. Take Cardinal baseball with you on the Cardinals Insider Podcast. Listen or subscribe wherever you get your podcast or at cardinals.com/podcast. Tommy Edman had quite the rookie year in 2019. Along with getting the call and experiencing postseason ball, he also tied the knot. Here's the story behind his special day.
And he swings and rips one into center field, a base hit. Wasting no time. Tommy Edman with a single to start the ninth.
We had originally planned for our wedding to be on October 5th, And we planned it before I was on the Major League roster, so I was expecting to be done with the minor league season in September and go home and prepare for a few weeks and get married in October. But obviously on June 8th, I got called up and started to think, wait a second, we might be playing games still in October.
Into deep left, at the wall, gone! Tommy Edman, pinch hit, 3-run homer. The rookie comes through.
So I had to start making plans in case we ended up making playoffs, which fortunately we did, and we ended up having to move the wedding back to November. And fortunately, her family was awesome during that time. They took a lot of the burden on their shoulders because it was actually at their house. So fortunately, they helped out a lot, and it ended up being a great day.
The recently completed summer camp was a setup baseball will never forget. But it's not the first time getting ready for the season has taken a unique form. In 1944, clubs prepared for the year in the midst of World War II. The St. Louis Browns found a unique setup to train that spring. Here's more on that team and their creative spring training. It's one of our favorite stories from years past. Let's take a look from the Insider Archives.
They were very, very sharp. And when I say they, I'm talking about Bill DeWitt Sr. He was the man, the general manager, guiding this whole situation. He was the general manager of the year, the executive of the year is what they called it in those days. So it was really a bunch of gritty guys, played well, but it was so well orchestrated, and I give all that credit to Bill DeWitt Sr. Well, with the war going on, headed into 1944, Major League Baseball did some soul searching. You don't want a scene where baseball players and young bathing beauties are on the beach in Florida or in California. You know, at the same time, their sons are either in the Japanese or the German theater. They set a line, basically the Mason-Dixon line. Nobody could be south of that line or west of the Mississippi except for the Cardinals and the Browns. But they were all really in snowy, wintry areas in February playing the ball. It became known as the Long Underwear League. The Cardinals went over to Cairo, Illinois, and the Browns went down to Cape Girardeau, and they found, I guess you would say, a hidden gem, where they found a big old farm convention horse show building that had all dirt surface in there for the shows, and that became their home. And they were like the only team that was working extensively indoors during this harsh climate. They were kind of a rough and tumble crew. They weren't quite like the Gas House Gang, but it was a collection of scrappers. Like the first 70 days, there was a period they were in first place. But then slowly, the Detroit Tigers and the Yankees started to play well and catch them.
And the Browns walk into this series the hard way. They fought the toughest kind of a fight to get here, and they're raring to go.
The American League put out this is how it would work if there was a three-way tie. What it came down to was the last day of the season. The Washington Senators beat the Tigers. And that meant if the Browns win, they're the champions. If not, there's a tie. Chet Labes came in, hit 2 home runs that day. Probably one of the most pinnacle points in baseball history in St. Louis. The Browns win and how they did it.
Coming up, I answer one of your questions during Ask Ozzie.
The Cardinals captured a division championship in 2019, and they're after another NL Central crown in 2020. The Cardinals Media Guide is an essential for any St. Louis baseball fan. All the notes you could need for the 2020 season, and a great keepsake to remember the 2019 Redbirds. Get your copy at the Cardinals team stores inside Busch Stadium, or visit cardinals.com/media guide.
It's time for this week's Ask Ozzie. Kim from Omaha, Nebraska asks, what is your favorite St. Louis food? Well, since coming here in 1982, Ravioli is a specialty here. But one of my favorite places to eat is Paul Mano's, and my favorite meal there is eggplant and lamb chops. Yummy, yummy. Thanks for the question, Kim. You can submit a question by visiting cardinals.com/insider and clicking the Ask Ozzie tab. We'll be right back.
Are you sure you've done this before? Yeah. Just hold still. I love applesauce.
I know you do, man.
That's it for this episode. You can always catch us online at cardinals.com/insider and YouTube. For now, we leave you with a look back at summer camp. We'll see you next week.